So the year is 2024, and I kind of want to hit on some of the concepts behind a Samsung Galaxy and a Google Pixel, and to kind of figure out which one you should go ahead and pick up in the year of 2024. Now, we could take a look at the current generation of Pixels and, Galaxies, the Pixel 8, the Galaxy S24, the Pixel 9 coming out, or we can even go like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago and take a look at those particular Google Pixels as well and the Samsung Galaxies, and there's always going to be a trend of the differences between both. I will tell you, from a build quality standpoint, let's just start there from the exterior. If we're going to take a look at the average Google Pixel and the average Samsung Galaxy, the big thing to keep in mind is that there are way more Samsung Galaxies than there are Google Pixels. So Samsung makes 3,000 types of phones. Google only makes like 2 generations of devices, their standard Pixel series, and then their kind of cheaper A series. Samsung makes their Galaxy S series, which, comprises of different, S24 devices, the main flagships they have. They have their Fold and Flip series, and they also have their A series, which is their budget, cheap genre devices. So that being said, when you're comparing the device list, you kind of have to go neck and neck, side by side. If you want devices that are going to be giving you more options, the Samsung Galaxy side might be better. But if you don't really care too much about it, you're looking at those mid-tier flagship phones, then you can really get either one in this particular situation. Now, a big thing to keep in mind, like I mentioned with the build quality standpoint, is that most of the time, the build quality on a Samsung Galaxy S20, an S device, the exterior, is probably going to look better than the outside of a Google Pixel. That's kind of what we've seen, that's kind of what we noticed year over year over year. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind here, that if you're going to go through and use a device, well, keep in mind that with something like the Samsung Galaxy S side, so that right there is a big thing. But on the Google Pixel side, the phones themselves look very nice, they look very, very, modern, but the Galaxies tend to have a newer type of design, a newer modern type of design with frosted glass backs and different things like that. Still, most of the Google Pixels have standard glass backs, which could be kind of a downside for some people. If you're comparing the standard mid-tier devices for the last couple of years, those ones usually have dual camera setups. The Samsung Galaxy S mid-tier devices that are, kind of in the same category, those ones tend to have triple camera setups. And on average, the Samsung Galaxies are probably going to be giving you overall better cameras than the Google Pixels. Although the Google Pixels still are great, there's really no competition here. The Samsung Galaxies are going to be giving you very solid, beautiful type of cameras, and those are the ones that I typically look at as probably being the better ones more times than not. So if you're going the Samsung Galaxy route, you're definitely going to be getting a better build quality, I would say, and better cameras when it kind of comes down to it. However, on the flip side of these things, some advantages of the Google Pixels, one are the software. You're getting day one updates on pretty much all the Google Pixels that are supported, and this in and of itself can be a very cool thing going on for that particular phone. If you're trying to go through and pick up a device that's going to be lasting you a long time, both these are going to be lasting you for many years, but it is very nice having that type of device on the Google Pixel where, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed an update, and it's not going to be based on, most of the time, it's not going to be based on the carriers. So it's not going to be based on your cell service, it's just going to be based on which phone you have. And honestly, you can even get the devices, on a beta format, on a beta software, and that in of itself is going to be another very cool thing to basically have. To have that type of capability of basically being able to go through and have that type of software version is a very nice thing, and this in and of itself is another very cool thing going on for these particular phones too. Now, both devices are going to give you capabilities of picking a bigger device or smaller device or even a budget phone of the same genre, which is really cool. But I would probably say the other thing when it comes down to the performance side nowadays is whether you want to go down the Snapdragon route or you want to go the Google Tensor chipset route. I would probably say if you have the option to, going down the Snapdragon route to this day is probably the better option. I feel like those devices are going to be giving you very, very good performing phones, and you tend to get more RAM and more power inside of a Snapdragon device rather than the Google Pixel side with the Tensor chipsets. So, although it's not like the biggest deal in the world right now, that is just one of those things to kind of keep in mind when it comes down to it as well. So, at the core, those are kind of probably the big differences here between the stock, between a stock phone like a Google Pixel and the other phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy in this case. So, in terms of that kind of covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.